Canelo, there's a lot of articles and social media news floating around saying that you could potentially be negotiating with Terence Crawford directly for a main fight. Any truth to that?
No, I'm working in other things. Now I'm enjoying my family. I'm not talking about boxing yet. So maybe in January we wanna start doing that.
Where do things stand with Turkey? Turkey said he would like to open a line of communication with you. No middlemen, just you and him.
I never say no to business. So if it is a business for me, I'm open to talk, no matter what.
Anything else for Chula Vista?
No, thank you everybody from Chula Vista. Thank you for your support.
Canelo Alvarez, one of the greatest fighters of our time, is facing a critical decision. But boxing legends are warning him not to take on Terence Crawford. Why? Let's dive in. Canelo has already conquered multiple weight classes and achieved almost everything in the sport. Yet, despite his success, some of the sport's biggest names say this next move could be a major mistake. Could Terence Crawford, the undefeated welterweight champion, be too much for him? Stick around, because what we uncover about this potential showdown will leave you questioning Canelo's next step in his illustrious career.
Likelihood of a fight with you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We don't talking about yet about the fight. Me and Turkanash know each other, and then we wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp?
Huh?
When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
In
here.
camp? Training camp in March.
Okay, so
At the beginning of the middle of the February or March.
Saul Canelo Alvarez needs no introduction. A fighter who has dominated the middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight divisions, Canelo has earned his place as one of boxing's modern legends. His rise to the top has been nothing short of extraordinary. From his early days in the ring, Canelo was a force to be reckoned with. He took on top-tier fighters and came out on top, including his unforgettable trilogy with Gennady Golovkin, where he proved himself to be the better man in an epic clash of titans. Not to mention his victory over Caleb Plant, where Canelo became the undisputed super middleweight champion, the first in boxing history in that weight class. His accolades speak for themselves. Multiple world championships across 4 weight divisions, a victory over Sergey Kovalev for the light heavyweight title, and wins over the best in the sport. Canelo's legacy is solidified as one of the most accomplished boxers of his era. But despite his dominance, some say his next move could be his most dangerous. Terence "Bud" Crawford, undefeated, 3-weight world champion, and one of the most skillful and dangerous boxers of the modern era. Crawford has shown the world that he is not just a great fighter, but a true boxing mastermind, earning a reputation for his versatility and technical brilliance. Crawford is widely regarded as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world today. He's not only unbeaten in 40 professional bouts, but he's also the first fighter in history to be undisputed champion at light welterweight, holding all 4 major belts in the division. His impressive list of victories includes knockout wins over the likes of Victor Postal, Jeff Horn, and Sean Porter. But perhaps his greatest claim to fame came when he faced Errol Spence Jr. in a welterweight unification bout. Crawford dominated Spence, winning in a decisive fashion and solidifying his position as the top fighter in the sport. His tactical intelligence, combined with his ability to seamlessly switch between orthodox and southpaw stances, makes him a nightmare for any opponent. But there's more to this potential fight than just Crawford's skills. Let's look at what boxing legends are saying. Even boxing legends like Mike Tyson have weighed in on the potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Tyson, a former heavyweight champion, has raised serious concerns about the fight, especially when it comes to the weight difference. Crawford is too dangerous, and the weight might be too much for Canelo, Tyson said. The reality is, Canelo has fought most of his career at middleweight and super middleweight, while Crawford has dominated at welterweight. Moving up to face Crawford, especially after so many successful defenses of his super middleweight title, could be a significant challenge for Canelo. Tyson's warning isn't just about Crawford's skills. It's about the physical size and strength difference. Crawford might have the advantage of speed, versatility, and precision, but will that be enough against a much larger Canelo, who has fought in heavier divisions? Another former champion, Oscar de la Hoya, has also raised his concerns about Canelo's decision to target Crawford. De la Hoya, who has promoted Canelo's career for years, warned that this fight could risk more than just a title. De la Hoya suggested that With everything Canelo has already accomplished, facing someone like Crawford could lead to a loss that tarnishes his legacy. Why take a risk like this? Why risk losing everything after you've conquered so much? De La Hoya asked. With a loss to Crawford, Canelo could be left with questions about his career, his legacy, and his future in the sport. One of the most obvious concerns about this fight is the weight difference between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Canelo, the current undisputed super middleweight champion, usually fights at 168 pounds, while Crawford is a welterweight, fighting at 147 pounds. While Crawford has proven his ability to move up in weight and compete with bigger opponents, including his light welterweight win over Victor Postal, the jump to super middleweight against a fighter like Canelo is a massive challenge. At 168 pounds, Canelo holds a physical size advantage, not only in terms of weight, but also in reach and power. This is a key factor that Tyson and De La Hoya have highlighted as a potential problem for Crawford. Even with Crawford's incredible skill set, moving up 2 full weight classes could pose significant issues. We've seen fighters struggle when they face opponents much bigger than them, no matter how skilled they are. Canelo's power and strength at super middleweight are unmatched, and Crawford will have to find a way to compete with a larger, stronger opponent. Moving up in weight isn't something that guarantees success, especially against a fighter like Canelo. While Crawford has been a dominant force in lower weight classes, stepping up to face Canelo in a division where Canelo has proven dominance presents challenges Crawford hasn't had to face before. It's one thing to fight a strong welterweight or light welterweight, but it's another to go against someone who has built their career around overpowering fighters at the super middleweight and light heavyweight levels. For Crawford, this could be a difficult mountain to climb, even with his undeniable talent and experience. Terence Crawford's greatest strength lies in his ability to adapt, and this is something that makes him a unique threat for any opponent, especially Canelo. One of Crawford's most dangerous weapons is his ability to seamlessly switch between orthodox and southpaw stances. This isn't just about mixing things up for the sake of it. This is a tactical move that confuses opponents and disrupts their rhythm. Crawford can switch stances mid-combination, keeping his opponents off balance and making it nearly impossible to predict his next move. Against Canelo, this could be a game-changer. Canelo, known for his powerful counterpunching and precision, could find it difficult to set his traps when Crawford is constantly switching between different angles and stances. Beyond his stance switching, Crawford's versatility in the ring is a huge advantage. He doesn't just rely on one particular style. He can box on the back foot or come forward aggressively when needed. He's a master at adjusting his tactics mid-fight, depending on how the bout is unfolding. This adaptability has been a key factor in his victories over high-level competition like Jeff Horn and Sean Porter. Canelo has faced all types of fighters, but he hasn't encountered anyone quite like Crawford, who can switch between styles with such ease. Crawford can box in a way that neutralizes Canelo's natural aggression, taking away his advantages and forcing him to fight on Crawford's terms. What sets Crawford apart from most fighters is his ability to make you pay for every mistake. His counterpunching is precise and devastating. Against an opponent like Canelo, who likes to come forward and apply pressure, Crawford's ability to read and counter his moves could be the key to neutralizing Canelo's offense. Crawford is notorious for exploiting his opponent's weaknesses, patiently waiting for an opening, and then capitalizing on it in the blink of an eye. This tactical brilliance could be dangerous for Canelo, who has often relied on his ability to overwhelm opponents with power and speed. Crawford will be ready for that, and he'll know exactly how to respond. One of the biggest risks Canelo Alvarez faces if he takes on Terence Crawford is the potential impact on his legacy. Canelo has built a reputation as a boxing juggernaut, undisputed champion at super middleweight, multiple-time world champion across 4 divisions, and a fighter who has conquered some of the best names in the sport. But a loss to Crawford could change all that. While Canelo's accomplishments are impressive, critics argue that he's now facing a dangerous crossroads. Is he taking on Crawford to prove he's still the best? Or is this a desperate move to continue his dominance? Some believe Canelo might be pushing himself too hard by fighting someone of Crawford's caliber, and if he loses, it could tarnish everything he has built over the years. Imagine the narrative. Canelo, once the man who conquered the super middleweight division and beat top names like Gennady Golovkin and Caleb Plant, now defeated by an undefeated, tactical genius like Terence Crawford. A loss here would be a huge blow to his status as the best in the sport. But there's more to it than just losing a fight. A defeat could leave questions about Canelo's place in boxing history. Would he be remembered for his amazing career, or for a disappointing end to a once great reign? Canelo's critics have long claimed that, despite his impressive victories, he's avoided fighters who could truly challenge him. If he falls to Crawford, many will argue that this was the fight he should have avoided, and his reputation could take a hit, especially with some fans and experts already wondering if he's taken on more than he can handle. In the end, the decision to fight Terence Crawford is one that will affect Canelo's legacy forever. If he wins, he solidifies his status as one of the greatest of all time, conquering yet another challenge. But if he loses, we may witness the end of his dominance and the beginning of serious questions about his place in boxing history. So, the question remains, should Canelo risk it all and face Crawford? Or is this a fight he should avoid at all costs? We want to hear your thoughts. Drop your opinion in the comments below, and let's discuss what Canelo should do next. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more content on the latest in boxing. Stay tuned for more analysis on the biggest fights in the sport.